What's up, everybody? We've got episode 2 of The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live, and man, this series is off to a hot start. There will, of course, be spoilers for the episode here in my breakdown, so you've been warned. Now let's get into it. Just like last week, I'll do a little recap of the story here, and then I'll give more of my thoughts on the episode itself. This one kicked off 6 years after Rick blew up the bridge, but we're going with Michonne's POV this time around as she talks about that loss and her journey that followed it. Then we go on the back half of that journey with her, she returns Aiden and Bailey, the two people she saved and found in season 10 of the main show, to their group and meets a new companion, Nat. She does venture off to continue her search for Rick, but when she meets a herd of walkers, her new friends have her back and some others as they ditch their what they call toxic group to join her. But as they're headed through New Jersey towards Philadelphia, towards Rick, the CRM sees them headed their way and drops chlorine bombs on them in the streets. Aiden, Bailey, Nat, and Michonne do manage to get inside, but it's too late because the pregnant Bailey is already dying. Michonne goes for oxygen tanks that she saw on the way in to hopefully keep the other two alive, but by the time she gets back, Aiden is gone too, and it's just her and Nat. The two continue their journey to find Rick after recovering, and that brings us to where episode one left off, seeing it from their perspective instead of inside the chopper. As that scene ends, we kind of start to see that maybe Rick really is a little more broken still than he was shown at the end of episode one. And then, just as he's being introduced to Nat, Nat is shot and killed by a CRM trooper that Michonne didn't finish off. But Rick thinks on his feet and gets a plan together to get Michonne back into Philadelphia as the two start sneaking around once she's admitted. But Nat's final words of making sure Rick is still the Rick she knew seem to be sticking with Michonne as she refuses to tell him much about Judith until they escape. The episode ends as Jadis, the garbage lady from the main show, waits for Rick in his apartment where she reveals she knows Michonne is there, but she's gonna keep it to herself and wants to know what Rick is doing, and she used much stronger language when asking him. Alright, so moving on to the cons for the episode, I've only got one thing just like last week here. That being, I thought the Michonne recap ran a little long, and it's not that it was bad. It was alright. It's just that, I kind of really didn't care all that much for it, knowing that Rick and Michonne are already reunited. Like, I think it would have been better and went over better with me personally, at least, if these two episodes here concluded in them finding each other and everything else was stitched together, because the story is pretty decent. I just I just didn't care for this side of it with how episode 1 ended. I think I would have cared a lot more if, like, you're cutting back between Rick and Michonne through the two episodes and this is how episode 2 ended. But that's it. That's all I've got to say for my cons, so let's get right into these pros. Starting this off has got to be the emotion of this episode. It was absolutely fantastic. Like, we obviously have little to no time with Aiden, Bailey, and Nat. The first two more than Nat, definitely, but it really didn't matter because the actors really brought it and had really good chemistry together. And I thought all their deaths were pretty emotional, and a lot of that is thanks to Denai's performance in this episode. I mean, her eyes when she gets emotional are so powerful. I absolutely love her as an actress. Then there's that tension I mentioned between Rick and Michonne. They easily could have had them reunite and run away back to Virginia, but I'm really intrigued by the route they're taking, where Michonne's kind of second guessing stuff now, and Rick's also kind of keeping her in the dark. In fact, I just love the direction the show's going, or seemingly going, I guess I should say, with all that, and what Jadis's role is going to be in potentially keeping Rick in the CRM and maybe not letting him bring Michonne all the way into the picture. I think it's fascinating. I think it could be a serious wedge between the beloved characters, and I can't wait to see how it progresses the next 4 weeks. And so that'll do it for my breakdown of the second episode from The Ones Who Live, Gone. Another solid one here, continuing the streak of these spin off shows being absolutely amazing. But let me know what you thought about episode 2 down in the comments below, and make sure you have a great day.